logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades the job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or a spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's showing what her life is worth. Follow your heart and don't let go. You've got more fire than you know. Work hard, stay true, and see it through. Your double life might be the real you.
And there we are.
That snuck in on us a little bit earlier.
Yeah, most people didn't notice that. So that's the beauty and kind of a curse that I've discovered about anything with a live video or a premiere video. Oh, that fly ain't gonna survive. Don't you dare slap me across the face.
I would never
fly.
slap you across the face.
Slapping me down across the head is
I
the same
also wasn't
thing.
gonna do that. If you notice, I was doing this.
You're gonna catch them with your Miyagi-Do fingers, I'm guessing. Why are flies? Okay, but what I was saying was, and you probably don't know this, you don't do very many premiere videos like I've been doing a lot of, but sometimes people get so caught up in the chat, which is wonderful, that they don't watch the video. And there are so many amazing and wonderful and hilarious moments that go right past so many folks.
Or
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Maybe they can multitask like I can.
No, because I'm like watching like a hawk. I'm not saying, oh, here it comes. Here comes the good part. Here it comes. And people are saying, hi, Deanna. Hey, Denise. Hello, Mary Lou. And I'm looking, the good part came and went. And that's just, I like the love.
When you went on a date when you were younger to the movies with the girl,
yeah,
did you remember the movie? Or were you interested in the girl?
Well, it depends on the girl and the movie. There were girls that I took to a movie that I'd rather see the movie. And then there were girls, yeah. I'm going to grab a fly swatter because that little fella right there is going to bother me the entire night. You just
all
keep
I'm
on
saying
talking.
is that it's a social, it's a community, and it's an event, and I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I love that y'all find yourselves in the same place and time and find things that bring you together. And allow you to connect and allow you to feel. Oh boy, he can't find the fly swatter, I bet.
Did you put Regina on top of my fly swatter?
I didn't even know there was a fly swatter. I had to move Regina so that she wouldn't be.
I don't know why you threw her on the couch.
I didn't throw her. I
All right,
set
where's
her
he
down gently.
Do you see where he went? Oh, he's on the on-air sign.
Give me that.
No. I got him. But you just keep talking. Keep making me look bad and tell everyone else.
I wasn't making you look bad.
Oh, yes, you were.
I wasn't, but if you give me that fly swatter, I'd be happy to let you do the chat and let me seek and find.
You're going to swat me across the top of my
I
head.
would never, but look. Don't move. 1, 2.
Oh,
We're going to be okay here. It's going to be fine.
okay.
It's going to be totally fine.
You're good.
No, I did not get a haircut. I showered today and washed my hair, which is kind of an event. Huge event, actually. It only happens like once a week now.
So
There's a confession.
Yeah, so no one has asked. So I'm not gonna jump on but I actually did trim myself.
He did?
But
just for y'all,
not that
actually.
it matters. Not that it matters, Jamie. So anyway, we are just back from out of town. And I will say this, I've not even told this to Jamie yet, but oh no, am I being cranky? So I did want to get hit across the face for the fly. And that was just me just trying to defend before it happens. But no, we are back from out of town. And so you're probably saying you guys should be very well rested. No, we're not. No, that's not how it works, guys. I don't know what kind of vacations you take, but that's not the way our vacations work. We're actually exhausted.
That's a fact.
Tell them a little bit about it. Oh, we did have fun, but don't think that we got any rest.
But I don't know if you've taken vacations with toddlers before. And I'm not referring to Lester, actually. I'm referring to the dogs. So taking dogs is more work, and it's not just about it's not like the ride there was the work or anything like that. It's not like that. It's when they get there and it doesn't go like your Disneyland dream version, and they don't just lay down at your feet without leashes and all the world is peaceful and fun. It was very crowded, which was fine. And our dogs turn out to be not as good at leashes as we thought. Now, Stella and Trixie did great. Ritzy would pretty much she forgot everything about being on a leash. She just laid down and she was good with that. And Christmas has a lot of I'll call it social anxiety almost. She didn't want to go in the first place, and I made her go, which is probably my own fault.
Well, I feel like something had to have happened to Christmas somewhere. And I hate the fact that I can't identify what day it was. But if you guys remember, Christmas, it used to be the 3 girls, sometimes 4. And when I say the girls, we've always let Millie and Fiona stay outdoors overnight at Longhorn Lester's to keep an eye on everything. And we need that. So they have a job to do that they love to do.
Yes.
But I used to come over and bring all of the girls, and they were all very excited to come, jump in the truck, ride over, and have sleepovers here at the RV, the JL Motel. But it was always hard with Ritzy because she can't really get around as well, and then she doesn't always come when I call her. So I've tried to find ways to convince Jamie, don't take it personal if I don't invite Ritzy along. And then one day, I don't know why, but one day Christmas, who's normally the first one out the door, just sat on the couch and watched me when I was leaving. And I'm like, you want to go bye-bye? And she's just looking at me. And Jamie's like, go bye-bye. Go bye-bye with your daddy. And she's like,
well, because at that point in time, if she missed your leaving, she would sit at the door and be sad about it. So it was really weird that she didn't go to the door. And I was like, she's going to be sad whenever he leaves. Because sometimes you would rush out of there and not take anybody, and she would sit at the door and cry. And now all of a sudden she has stopped.
So now she doesn't want to come at all. And I don't know why. I'm trying to think. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out what happened over here where she's just doesn't want to go bye-bye anymore. And instead, when she sees us going bye-bye, she'll leave the couch and run to the bedroom and go under the bed. And I would never make her come, ever.
I made her come yesterday, though. It was
But
my
yes,
fault.
well, yeah, yesterday to the beach, we wanted her to have the experience. So Jamie went under the bed and pulled her out. And
But also, we were gonna be gone longer than 12
Yeah,
hours, and
yeah.
I didn't want her to be inside. So like, she was either coming or she was gonna stay outside with Millie and Fiona.
yeah,
Neither of which that she wanted to do. So I carried her and I brought her to the RV, thinking like once she gets there, it'll be fine. And knowing we were going in the evening, so I kind of expected it to slow down last night and for them to be able to relax. And she just didn't.
Oh no! Someone says maybe the mannequin scare her.
It
Maybe
scared me when I pulled up here tonight.
I never thought of it.
All
The
I
mannequins
saw
being
was like a bald guy standing, sitting on the chair out here, and I was like, I also know that the door swung open at that exact moment. And out comes Trixie, and I'm like, I don't know, like had a panic moment.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, she has changed, and now she doesn't want to leave to go anywhere. Sure, she doesn't use the restroom in the house. She'll still
No.
walk outside and TT and do all of her things, but and come right back in. But she just wants to be inside the house. And I told Jamie that I'm hoping that she's just not like sick, like on the inside that we just can't see. But she's heartworm negative and all the things. So and she's eating fine. She just doesn't want to go bye-bye anymore.
She doesn't want to go anywhere. It's not even that she doesn't want to come here. She just doesn't want to go. And she used to be like the number one riding dog outside of Trixie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Something changed inside of her and she became a homebody, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We were just, I don't know. You get excited about like, we want the dogs to see the beach, we want the dogs to see the ocean. And then you get there and you realize that not your dogs are going to see the ocean, but they're going to bring the ocean into the RV with you. And they're going to, if you've ever traveled with toddlers, it's like bringing your toddlers to a new place to watch them. And that's it was a trip, not a vacation.
But you know what? I think it was a trip worth the little bit of lack of sleep and the extra cleaning we had to do in the RV, because seeing Stella, especially, Trixie, born and raised, and she's always been able to do things with me and Jamie and all the such. But Stella, for the short time that we've had her, the couple of years, and from, how she came to us as a rescue, and you guys who've watched the channel know how she came and what condition she was in when she got there. And then the life that she had to lead before she came to us, Dusk. I'm sorry, my words are rambling, but the life that she had to leave, and live before she came to us, the abuse and all the things. So I just really felt special about her and being able to see the beach and experience the ocean, even if it meant having to take away some time for ourselves. 'Cause that's what happened. We didn't really have time for ourselves. We're having to always keep an eye on where the dogs are at and who needs this.
But they did good. Like, truly, they did really good. Like, I don't want you to get the impression of like, it was horrible or anything like that. It was just not so relaxing. That's all. That was really the intention of that whole 15 minutes of conversation.
Yeah. And then don't forget that I kind of suspected we were going to have problems with Christmas.
You did.
From when I says, let's go bye-bye, and all three, Ritzy, Trixie, and Stella, all were so excited to come out. And that was a part of my video, actually. And then Jamie had to go out there and dig for Christmas. And I said to myself, I'm going to make the video focus more on Trixie and Christmas. I'm sorry,
Stella.
Trixie and Stella. And I saw the comments today on that video, and I see the displeasure that I didn't focus more on Ritzy and Christmas. But number one, Ritzy, that's what wasn't new for her. Like you said, she's not been to that actual beach, but she's been to plenty of beaches and lakes and rivers and ponds and all the stuff, because she's also lived a privileged lifestyle like Trixie. So it was really Stella who I wanted to kind of highlight and showcase more than anybody else. And it was beautiful seeing Stella in the ocean. I felt bad for her, though, because she can't hear a darn thing. And so she looks to me a lot more than I realized. When I had her on the leash I didn't realize how much she watches me to
She
see
does.
what my commands are. And so she's constantly looking up at me like, what do I do? Okay. And what do I do? Okay. What do I do, Dad? Okay. And I mean, the whole time. And then there was one moment that was really scary that we took the dogs off the leashes because it had relaxed. Everyone was calmed down. There wasn't near as many people driving around, and they were all laying around us where we were sitting in our chairs. But at some point, Stella gets up and kind of just wandering around. And here comes some kid, some fast driving kid being a jerk along the beach. You know how it can be, music blaring, and Stella never heard. And I had to jump up and run out and grab Stella to put myself, because I think that she might would have run right over her had we not done that. But that was the scariest moment that we had as far as the dogs go. Would you agree?
Yes, I know one thing is that I am not a Saturday, Sunday beach person. I'm way more of a Tuesday, Wednesday beach person, because the beach was packed. And that particular beach didn't stop all night long. And I really thought, like, surely around 11 or 12, this is going to, no.
Yeah, it stayed.
It was like I called it last night, the beach that never sleeps. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. So Jamie did not sleep much. I did sleep. I was able to sleep just fine, and just not enough sleep because, and then, I think that the focus should be really about how wonderful of a lady we ran across who introduced us to the motorhome style RV. Now, guys, not to worry. We are very blessed.
We're back.
We are very blessed with our RV. It has so much more space. But, the reason that we don't do things like that more often with our RV is because it is long and it's heavy. And even though we have a pretty good sized truck that will pull it and has pulled it a number of times, I just can't really relax. I don't feel comfortable pulling something so long and so heavy. And every time you come to have to brake, and you just feel the weight. So I get it. There's a lot of you guys who've pulled RVs all over the country, and I'm just going to say better you than me. It's just not really my thing. So I'm happy to have it here to make a hangout when we're here at the JL Ranch. It works out wonderful for that. But
we did find a love of just that type of motorhome, or that type of RV, which the motorhome, that I didn't think that either of us expected. And a lot of you have told us, like, no, you should, if you ever decide that that's going to be part of your future, you should look into that. Even when we were looking at this from a sponsorship standpoint, and other people were saying, like, you should think about that. You should think about that. And I don't know why that was.
Well, if anyone ever offers a sponsorship for a motorhome,
True.
But, I don't know. I've never priced a motorhome besides looking at the ones we've seen at the big RV shows.
Right.
But I do believe that a motorhome, because it has the motor, mostly, I think it's a lot more expensive. I don't know how much more expensive, but I don't think that we would ever travel enough to justify investing in one.
I just know, like.
Thank you, Monica. Monica left her a Google review.
It was just first of all, it was very sweet that they offered to sponsor us for this weekend. And it was very neat to truly be able to, like, toss in the blankets, toss in some snacks.
So that motorhome
someone
says that motorhome is $100,000 motorhome.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
That's more than my first house. That's nuts.
Yeah. No.
We'll just rent one when we need it.
We'll just hope that the sweet lady enjoys the reviews.
Yeah. I hope so. But no, it was the thing I loved about it the most. That particular one had no slides and no leveling. You just parked it and swung the door open, and that was it.
But funny thing is, Jamie did tell me last night when we were moving around trying to find the best place to park. Nope, that's not level enough.
Well, I didn't want my head hanging down.
No.
Or my side of it would have been on that point. It would have been my side of the bed, which I already had no side of the bed last night.
What
I would
I
have fallen
noticed,
off.
though, when I was taking my shower, is that all the water was going to one
It
side,
did do that.
and it did not go to the center shower drain where it should have.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's why we have to find a really level spot of ground to park on.
Yeah.
So, but it was wonderful. The
It
dogs,
was a wonderful experience and convenient. And Lester did feel safe driving it and drove it very well. And I think, honestly, I would have felt safe because it was about the same size as a U-Haul I'd driven before. So, like, to the people that have them, Buddy and Steph, I saw their thumbnail for their live. They must be getting ready to go somewhere
oh, they traveling again?
because their RV was on their thumbnail for their live tonight.
Oh, I
But-
wonder where they're. Well, it's summertime.
Yeah.
So they got the kids out of school. Well, that's one thing I don't know how they do, because if you and I were a little bit cramped, I don't know exactly how much bigger their motorhome is than the
I
one
don't
that we
know.
had. But if we took our dogs, then just you and me, and we didn't pack, we were only going for 24 hours.
Yeah, so I didn't put anything in cabinets or anything like that. I literally tossed pillows and blankets on the bed. I brought 4 towels. I took 2 6-packs of Gatorade, some Malibu, some snacks, and the dog's food and water and leashes. That was about it, right?
But what I was trying to say
Oh.
is that I don't know what their motorhome looks like after just a couple of days with having all 3 kids and their dog. They only have 1 or 2 dogs,
They have 2. Oh, they
And
have a
they're-
Joshua tree.
and their dog, and all of the things. I can't imagine, because either they're very efficient in how they pack and how they bathe and how they, what they take for toiletries and whatnot. No, we're not doing Dr. Peppers. We're doing Pepsi Zeros, guys. We're doing Pepsi Zeros
I
these
think
days.
that I know that we boondocked, which was also a little bit different than pulling into an RV park. So like that means that we were not connected to anything, and we had to have our water filled. We had to use the generator to run things. I do know that Buddy and Steph stay at campgrounds and will shower at campgrounds, because
Oh.
Connor did tell me that once. He's like,
Okay.
he goes, we only use the shower in the RV if we're like extra super stinky. And I was like, okay, cool. Like that was whenever we were like talking about this RV or whatever.
Yeah.
And Connor was like, oh no, that's not what it was. He showered in Lex's RV.
Okay.
And goes, I love that shower. It's not like our RV
Oh,
shower.
no.
So that was kind of funny.
When she had more space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing that Jamie noticed. She goes, "You're never going to fit in that toilet ever. Never. In 100 years, you'll never fit
That's
in
what
there."
I said. I was like, I hope that you don't have to use that restroom, because that door's going to be wide open when you do. Like that
Yeah.
would be the only thing.
No, I was just like the other beach bums, and I went outside to pee. So I'm good.
The only other thing I will say is that today I did consider crawling in the back to sleep on the way home. I didn't do it because I was a good navigator. I was a good partner and sat right next to him and made sure we did all the things right. But if we were on a long journey, I could totally see like the ability to like somebody go to the back to sleep, and like you could do that type of thing.
Yeah. I would have to see how you drive something like that first, because you've never driven. I mean, U-Haul, but that's a lot bigger than a U-Haul. And but it, you know what? There were really neat cameras for backing up.
Yeah.
And the mirrors worked out wonderful. It's a 2023, I believe, so it has all the bells and whistles for the most part for what RVs have. But no, it was very kind of the sweet lady, wonderful, wonderful, sweet lady who worked all that out for us and just found ways to accommodate us.
Yeah.
Even had the darn thing delivered. And we never asked for that. We would have been very happy to,
Yeah.
but she knew we had the dogs and all the things. And no, she wanted to make sure it was just going to be just
They had
so
the
simple.
generator already. They sent us a cute little video of like how to do it, and how to be able to make the generator start, where the water things were, just every little detail that is just very thorough. And that's not the only RV they have. They rent RVs and travel trailers. That's their whole business. And they have a variety of, what do you call that? Their fleet? Do you call it a
A
fleet?
fleet? Yeah.
They have a variety of a fleet based on who's doing what. But I'm like, what a neat thing for people to be able to experience, that they don't have to buy one to be able to go down that path to own it or anything like that. If you wanted to have a camping adventure with your family for a week in the summer, or if you wanted to, take something like that, that's just a really neat thing to be able to experience. And,
Yeah.
and what a neat theory for a business as well.
Yeah. It was fun. Now, like Jamie said earlier, though, one of the hardest things, and I know we didn't have to do this, but we wanted to, was we got a lot of sand. The dogs brought in a lot of sand. Jamie and I brought in lots of sand. When we drive it with somewhere, we bring in sand and just on our clothes. And we did. We spent a lot of time today cleaning. We vacuumed, and Jamie wiped all the counters down. And I was like in the crevices getting sand out. We did not want to return it tomorrow with sand and make someone else do all of that work. So, but yeah, I don't think you can go to the beach and not get sand all over whatever you're driving.
No,
That's
it is
just a beach
impossible. And all I think about when I saw all those beach homes there is like, it just must be part of their thing to have sand, like sand in their showers, sand. Like it just, how would you ever get rid of all of the sand?
Even just sitting there having a drink in the chairs with the wind blowing off the ocean, you just are gritty. You're just gritty. There's grit all over you.
We showered last night, but I didn't wash my hair last night because it's a tiny little, I don't know, like I was terrified of not having enough water to wash my hair. So I just had it in a bun from the time we got to the beach. And when I went to lay down, I had washed my face, I had washed my whole body, and I took my ponytail out and sand fell out. And I did not get in the ocean like that last night. So I felt really bad because here we were trying our best to not put sand in the bed, and it literally came out of my own hair from just sitting there in those lawn chairs.
Wow. No, and then Jamie's biggest fear was make sure that we parked far enough off the water so we did not wake up surprised by the high tide. I told her a horrible story that happened when I took Ellie camping when he was young. Ellie's mom and I divorced when he was 5. So between the ages of 5 and whatever until we would still do a lot of stuff, just Ellie and I. And what I did was took him actually camping at the beach. And we took our 4-wheeler, because we had a truck. We put the 4-wheeler in the back of the truck. So we had a lot of fun. But that night when we set up our tent, we set the tent up and we got everything tucked in, and at some point fell asleep. And at some point in the night, the tide came in, and it was coming in to the tent. And talk about waking up terrified. There was also a storm because it was thundering and lightning and rain and the water coming inside the tent, and it terrified me. And I grabbed Ellie. We left the tent. Made sure, thank God my truck didn't get stuck. But I put him into the backseat of the truck. He was still sleeping. I don't think he ever woke up. And I loaded the 4-wheeler, and off we went. Tent and blankets and all stayed right there, which I feel horrible now. I probably should have picked that tent up. I don't know where it's floating to right now. It's probably in Guam or somewhere. If it's still floating, I don't know. But no, that was very, very scary.
So that's the story he tells me.
Yeah.
Before we go camp on the beach. And
that's
I'm
like watching the movie Jaws before you go off deep sea diving or something.
So I'm like, are you sure this is allowed? And he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. Look, you can see. I'm like, yeah, but how far? I'm asking all of the pertinent questions. Also, I don't know if you've ever watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but they're in a car and then there's water all around them at the same time.
Oh, no.
And I literally so between that movie from like the 1930s and now your story, here we are. And I'm like, I just hope that I do not step outside directly into the ocean in the morning, because that is not what I signed up for. Or that we're like floating out there because, maybe.
Well, you live and you learn. But no, we parked far enough off the ocean that we were fine. We had no problems whatsoever. And it was a wonderful trip. But we are back. There was a lot of prep work and going. Everyone knows how hard it is for us. We didn't leave. We left right at 4:00 yesterday afternoon, and we got back right at around noon today.
Yeah.
So we were actually gone less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And had it been just Jamie and I, we would have stayed longer. But with the dogs, and with some of the dogs being scared, and you could just tell that they were like, not all, but some were just not really feeling it.
They were ready to go.
Yeah.
They were ready to go. And then what was crazy is we were driving home, and it was like the last turn before we got home. All of a sudden, all the dogs started to get like antsy. Like
they were
like, either they could smell that we were close to home, sense it.
And they started getting mean to each other.
Yes. So like it was enough togetherness for them that it was like they were ready to be done as well. And then we got home, opened the doors, Millie and Fiona greeted us, and then I think everybody sort of rushed inside to be in the AC, and everybody got in their spots, and that's where 4 of them are, and then 2 are here, just
Yeah,
like
I got
crashed out.
2 with me, and they are conked out. Jamie was tired. I was tired today. We actually got home, got our chores done, and took a short. Well, I took a little nap. I'm not sure how long Jamie slept after I got up, but
It
my
was not
body,
much
even though I
longer.
did sleep some last night, it's tiring. We're tired.
I think I slept about an hour or 2 last night. I had a really
Yeah.
rough night, but it's okay. Took a nap, having a Red Bull. It's gonna be fine. It's
And
gonna be totally fine.
everything is fine. All the animals are great. There was no issues at either property, and we have wonderful neighbors. Don't forget that we have 2 sets of neighbors at Longhorn Lester's who see everything going on and would let us know in a heartbeat. Not besides that, we have great cameras. We're very blessed that we have a wonderful camera sponsorship in Woolties, and we can check our cameras at any time. It alerts us to human activity, to vehicle activity, to animal activity. So just great cameras at both properties. And of course, Mr. Curtis over here always lets me know what's going on if someone is out and about.
Well, and we also have others that if we saw something that we could call to say, hey, can you run over and do whatever? Like we have built relationships over the past couple of years to be able to have that sort of like second set of hands that is nearby if we need it.
Yeah, if you need it. But that's the hardest thing with us, is that we just don't really like or don't really trust other people doing things. And I'll give you an example. I will not say a name. Can I give the example of the bullpen without saying a name? I will not even say a timeline. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yes. So an example, everyone knows that we have our bullpen does not have a natural pond. And one of my biggest fears is the bulls, the young bulls running through their water, not having enough. So, and I've talked about that so many times. If there were some kind of a emergency and we lost our water, at least the horses and the cows at back, they have a pond. Good, deep pond, clean enough to drink from, and they do on their own. We always keep out fresh water, but our bullpen up front has no fresh water supply. And so you have to make sure that if there's someone going to come by and fill up the waters, that they realize the importance of filling up all the waters. And like I said, I see how you got nervous me even mentioning this. You probably want me to just let it go, but I can't let it go. I can't let it go. There was a time in the past that we did take an overnight or 2, maybe 3, and we had someone who was going to come by and do all of the things, and they did not do the bullpen water. And when we got back, and I, of course, you know how you do when you get back, you walk the perimeter, you check everything. Jamie today jumped out of the RV to go check on our chickens. So you know how it is. And I get out or get back from our trip and I walk over to the bullpen, and their water trough is bone dry. And when I say bone dry, I mean bone dry. There was no water. Now, there were puddles. It had rained. And you guys know, with as much clay as we have over here, we do got some issues with water puddling. But my heart just broke for those, the 2 big bulls, the steer and the bull, and then the 2 little guys, for drinking down into the bottom of their water troughs and having no water. And just the anger and the rage that went through me. And it took Jamie having to bring me back down but I'll tell you what, it terrifies me. It terrifies me to know. And so I promise you this, I've told you all that I'm going to get one of those big blue water troughs out there. So if I do ever have to leave for more than a day, but even then, it's just really scary of what could happen, especially if it had been during the heat of the summer and they had no water. My God. So don't be so hard on us guys, when I know that you probably wish that we could get out and do things more often. I know JV wants to get out and do things more often. And maybe there'll be a time in our life when we can.
But I don't want people to think that I don't care, because I absolutely care. And I absolutely know that this is the life we chose. And this is the life that I love, all of those things. Some days I just wish that it was a little bit more like, I don't know, that we had 28 hours in the day instead of 24. Does that make any sense to you? Like, I'm not.
You want to add more hours to the day?
Yes, to be able to squeeze it all in, because I feel like every single second counts more than it ever did before in my life, because I'm trying to truly accomplish as much as I can while still getting as much sleep as my body says that it needs, which isn't, I'm not saying that it's like 8 to 10 or anything like that. It's not like that. I just, I feel like this sounds silly. I was off Thursday, Friday this past week. Thursday was Juneteenth. Friday, I actually took some time off. I only had one call that day, so I joined that call. I got so much accomplished in these 4 days that like I felt caught up enough to be able to do what we did last night. That rarely happens. And that's what I mean by that. So like, I just wish that there was enough to where I didn't feel guilty and torn by what isn't done by taking 14 hours away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. No, it's true. Had you had to work until late Friday, then we probably wouldn't have been
There's
able
no
to
way we would have
escape
ever
and
been able
gotten out.
no way. Or that I would even be able to take a nap today, because that was the other part, is like when we got home today, I did my outside stuff. We cleaned out the RV. We got everything unpacked. I washed all of the things from the, all of it. I had already washed the sheets where we left, so we came home to clean sheets. I was able to take a bath at 12:45 and then a nap afterwards for like an hour. And that doesn't happen, because every single second counts.
Yeah. It's true. But no, it was a fun trip. We talked about it the whole time. We got to change the subject at some point.
Okay, sorry.
So, and Jamie's a farmer. She'll be okay. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. But yeah, Jamie's a farm girl now. Oh, that flies back. Look, right on my head. Where's
You took it away.
I have it.
You won't let me have it.
I'll do it myself. I'll do it to myself. Did I get it?
No, it just flew away.
I didn't get that.
No,
I
you
put
should have let me do it.
I put myself through that pain and didn't even kill the fly. So that's that's the button. That's the button to my cap. The fly was right over here. Okay.
Your nephew Jake is here. Hey, Jake.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Jake. Jake is probably only here because I still have to get some fencing done over there.
He came to hear the week plans.
Yeah, he wanted to see if I'm getting any fencing going to be done this week. I do need to find out, though, from Jake how wet it is, because you cannot work in that pasture if you can't get a vehicle out there.
We drove kind of in that vicinity on the way home, and there was a lot of standing water.
Yeah, so we did. We actually went that way. Once we didn't realize, Jake, you're closer to the beach. You're closer than what you realize.
Yeah. Like the back way from
Jake says there should be no trips to the beach when there's something to be done.
I did it. I killed that fly.
Josie, we don't take the big dogs because they are our guardian protectors and they're terrified to be inside the vehicles.
They hate being
Two
in vehicles.
reasons.
They to get them to even to be able to go to the vet, I have to get 2 different meds and drug them to be able to then physically lift them and take them to the vet, because they're terrified. Fiona was run over at a very young age, and that made her terrified. And Millie, I don't know what's wrong with Millie, but since Millie was a puppy, Millie becomes like so defensive and terrified to go to any vet. Maybe Fiona told her, I don't know, but neither one of them are go to the vet dogs or go anywhere dogs.
Yeah. No, they're not. But no, I will say that we have some big things happening this week.
I saw it too. I don't know why I just did that.
We have some big things happening this week. Just make sure that I'm not about to lose my phone. Is it still got the thing going? Okay.
Yeah,
really
so, big things happening this week.
Yeah, so hope you guys will be aware of what's going on around us. And then I just want to say this before you see the videos, and we have a nice audience to hear what I'm saying, is that we think so far ahead, more so than what we ever talk about, because we have to. And so some of the changes that we're going to work on this week are not just things that we just woke up and said, hey, let's do this, or hey, let's do that. Neither one of Jamie or I, neither one of us need to look for content. Content finds us, and we're blessed for that. and it allows us to be able to make videos and do videos every day. Me for 2 channels, because content is always and readily available. We don't need to go looking, because I noticed today that there's people who assume that certain videos are made only because the creator can't find the content.
No, there's no camel coming. I promise you that.
No camel coming. I didn't know what you were looking at. But no, there are some things that we've been talking about for a while, some things that Jamie's been working on, and we're going to have some changes come about this week. So we'll keep you informed. Everyone knows that we will video and we will talk about it. And if things don't work out, then we'll go from there. And we just ask you to trust us, and just know that what we do for a living, as far as the animals go, are rescues. And a lot of people can tell you what they would do and what they would do and what they would do, then they should do that. And I'm just saying that, what is going on with everything? How are we losing our power, babe? So if you guys, I know you can't see what's going on around us, but not only are we having fly issues, but we're having power issues. I hope we don't lose you all.
I don't think we will. I think we're okay here. Sorry.
Yeah. So just know that what we do is what we think is best, and we try our hardest with all of our babies. And so there'll be some things coming, and we're going to try out, and we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Hi, baby.
There's a lot of variables, and we're watching weather. Today we had storms that were like nowhere near in any weather like prediction pattern or anything. They just came out of nowhere, and I was like, okay.
Hi, baby.
The sun shined through the whole bit of it, and it rained sideways today twice.
Baby, please.
Sweetie.
She I don't know what came over her. She just got this desire to come love her daddy.
She wanted people to see her 4 ears.
Oh yeah, y'all want to see her 4 ears? We have a 4-ear dog. She goes, don't talk about them. There's a funny story about that. I'll tell you that funny story real fast. So we had don't forget, she was a rescue who's been through quite the ordeal. Okay. But listen, one of the funny things about the beach, and I hate to go back to the beach part again, but if you missed that part of our live this morning when we talked about it, there were these teenage girls who were driving around in a golf cart, when, golf carts are allowed along the beach. And at some point they passed by me, I was walking with Stella. And one of the girls goes, that dog has 4 ears. And I just kept on walking. I didn't stop. No, ladies, you see, Stella used as a bait dog when she was younger. And she was, I didn't go, I just kept walking with my 4-eared dog. That golf cart, they do one of them burnouts, and even electric golf carts can spin sand, and they make a loop-de-loop, and they come past her again, which I'm right there. And they're all looking, and they all got their phones, and like, that dog got 4 ears. Then they drive past me, and they loop it around again. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right here. So I just stop and hold Stella, and we just look at them as they come by with their cameras. And I guess that's how it feels when we pull our cameras out around people. It's like, we're the freaks with the cameras all the time.
Looking for things with 4 ears.
So there's someone Snapchat blowing up right now of spotting a dog with 4 ears, and the guy walking her around with the 4-eared dog. But no, her ears had been ripped apart when she was younger, and with all of the flies and the fighting and all the things, and she never got her ears back, y'all. She never got her ears put back together, but she's fine. But poor baby can't hear a darn thing. She can't see hardly anything. She has been through it. And she's
getting her toy out now.
Such a survivor. So, yeah, if someone got a 4-eared dog on Instagram, I can guarantee you that. But it's just our Stella with 2 ears. So
2 ears and a platypus toy that she's dragging over here right now. A purple platypus.
She's found her second wind, because she was beat. All the dogs were just beat from their trip.
It was cute. It really was. Even Millie and Fiona worked so hard last night. They came in and plopped down, and they made that noise whenever they hit the floor. They were just happy to be. That's kind of the routine is during the day, is that Millie and Fiona come inside to sleep during the heat of the day, and
Yeah.
they go outside at night, and they kind of all swap places. The other dogs get out and about and do all the things with us, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is from the 60s. I thought it was recording an era of the 30s. Do you know about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
No. I know about the
Chitty
love
Chitty
bug.
Bang Bang,
I know the
Chitty
love
Chitty Bang
bug.
Bang, we love you. You don't know about that? It was a
Do you know about the
car.
love bug?
I do know about the love
Oh.
bug. Herbie.
Herbie the love bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Oh, well, now we have homework that you're going to have to watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at some point in time.
Great. That's what I should have done, is pull out my camera, videoing them, videoing us.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been really funny. So I pull up to the ranch property today, and there's a vehicle sitting here, and windows down, pulled off into the grass. Quite scary. Someone's
You
hand.
didn't tell me that.
No, when we first started the live, I was going to talk about it, and I ended up not, because it jumped over to our vacation so fast. But I made a video about it. I don't mind videoing this, but I will say that kind of scary, actually, that this ended up being a sweet lady and her dad,
Oh.
who were both elderly, much
Aw.
older, and had also driven by the Plum Grove property, Longhorn Lester's, and then over here. Yeah, all today. And they came all the way from Illinois to do so.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no joke. No. And I feel bad, because I was even in my recording, I was not very nice. I wasn't the typical nice Lester, because it caught me off guard, and I had to apologize to her and to her dad towards the end of their little visit, because I wasn't very nice. But I'll tell you what, it caught me off guard. And I think that I was already on high alert, because we've been traveling, when you leave overnight. And then, Jamie told me, she goes, don't post that video until we're back. You don't need to let anyone know that we're going to be gone. And I'm like, don't worry. I covered all bases, and I set up these mannequins to look like actual humans. And so I wasn't worried about over here, because with 3 mannequins that all look like, one was on the computer working, one's over here washing dishes, and the other's outside taking a siesta from having too much of your Malibu. I had a perfect setup. So I left the right lights on. I even left the on live light, which reflects outside. So I thought that we wouldn't have, there was no way anyone would walk by here seeing all 3 of these, the camper fully functional and functioning. But I was still nervous. And then to pull up like I did, and to hear that this person has already been to Plum Grove and to Longhorn Lester's and over here, it just scared me. It just scared me. And hold on. It did not scare me for like my personal safety. Jamie and I both, you guys know that we both carry. And Jamie packs 2, y'all. Jamie double packs. She got one. I'm not going to tell y'all where she keeps it, but Jamie packs 2. I only pack 1. Okay. I pack 1 and Jamie packs 2. But Stephanie does pack 2. How does people know this?
Because we talk about it.
How do y'all know who all packs in our family? Dan's always packed. Yes.
Bree's always packed.
Bree's always packed. My dad's always packed. I think we can say packed, can't we?
Packing.
But no,
Maybe you can say packing.
we're packing. We're all packing, y'all. We all pack. So I don't mean I'm scared for my personal self. But what I was scared of is I thought my first reaction was someone sitting there casing the place while someone else is over here doing something. And that's like the lookout. Ooh, it scared me. And that was my first reaction. And that's the way I got out of the truck. Very defensive, very not aggressive, but the hell?
Yeah.
The hell. You know the hell? The hell? Anyway, I had to, after I heard the whole story, I I tried to find a way to go ahead and share the blessing, but I'll tell you what, it wasn't the way that we like to share a blessing. Absolutely not the way you want to come home from being out of town overnight to find someone sitting in your driveway, and then to find out they've already been to the other two properties as well, looking around. And quite scary, quite scary. But not to worry, everything is fine. And but that did happen today. That video comes out tomorrow. If you all want to see.
It's so like, oh, people know that I'm way worse than you. It's hard to lower your guard is all.
Well, here's the problem. The problem is me. Because here's what's going to happen. I gave in. If I would have stood there at the driveway and says, HE, double hockey sticks, no, get off my property, and did all of that kind of stuff, then guess what? Word would get out that you're not welcome there, which is what other creators do. They humiliate, they embarrass people for showing up at their property, and we don't want to do that. But at the same time, I can't just allow people to show up here unannounced and just, all right, well, just make it a quick visit. We're going live in an hour, and stuff like that either. What do you want to say? Go ahead and say it.
I'm reading the comments because people know the difference between me and you.
Well, Jamie's from up north. I'm from down south, and we do have Southern hospitality.
But
And
it makes me seem like I'm a stone cold bitch. And I'm not. I just have my guard up a little bit higher, and it's
well, like Jamie says, she even calls her mom before she goes over. She'll call her grandparents. Hey, I'm coming over. And over here, we don't always do that. We just kind of show up, and but I don't know.
I know that almost everyone has no ill will behind it. I do. I get it. And I know that, I met up with a couple a few weeks ago who emailed long before, and it was her lifelong dream to be able to meet Ringo, and I absolutely accommodated that. But she gave me warning. She gave me a window of days, other things like that. But I don't video and share those moments because I don't want to give anybody a false thing of, if you just stop by and if you catch me outside, that it's going to be okay. Because that's not really how my life works.
Did you just say, if you catch me outside?
I didn't mean to.
Because I almost said, how about that?
I didn't mean to.
How many of y'all?
I did not mean to.
I'm looking for a show of hands. When Jamie says, y'all catch me outside, how many of y'all in your mind says, how about that? Dwayne Lacey did.
I didn't mean to.
Dwayne Lacey.
But you get what I'm saying.
Catch me outside. Dwayne Lacey be like, how about that? Everybody did. Look at all the hands that are up. You don't even know about this girl.
I do. But I didn't mean to say it like that.
Look at everybody with their hands up. Jamie's like, I don't want you to catch me outside. And we're all like, how about that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't want to catch us. You don't want to catch Jamie outside. Okay.
Well, first of all, I probably look homeless, and I'm probably sweating, and I probably have dirt in places that it's not
Tam
proud of.
actually said it. How about that? She didn't think it. She actually said it to herself.
Never gonna live that one down.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. That is so funny.
Well, I hope that they had an okay experience. It's unfortunate that it's caught you like that.
Well, like I said, if I would have known, because
Hold on a second. I have to address something.
okay, we're gonna address something right quick.
Hold on.
I know whenever I have allowed someone to swing by, I love it when they let me know ahead of time, and then they allow me to say when might be a good time.
That is not true, actually, because
Old lady has no idea, and I only say old lady because it says old lady.
she has no idea that there are people who have been after me in multiple ways. One, I was followed home, like sincerely followed home, to the point that it terrified me. Number two, I have received many threats, including one where a lady came and lit our dumpster on fire and threatened to kill me and my family. So
Well, that's my fault too, because she swore that it was my fault because she and I are in love, and then she allowed you into my life because she gave me to you.
yes. So like, I know that Miss Old Lady, that you mean well, and that most people do mean well, but I have had direct experiences with those who did not mean well, and that is where I am like, I have to have my own guard up and be able to set some boundaries for my own safety and sanity as well, because I've had experiences that have allowed me to see the other side. I've had
Yeah.
really amazing experiences though too. Don't think that I haven't. I've had things that have brought me the most crazy emotions of hearing other people's stories of how they've survived. And I've also, had people, I've hugged strangers in the middle of Costco. I hugged a stranger in the middle of the Canton flea market a few weeks ago who was wearing my shirt and humbled me with the story of the things that they've survived. So like, don't think that I have no heart or anything like that. It's hard.
And then I'll just add one last thing to that, just to go ahead and go with what the old lady said, is that believe it or not, as sweet as Jamie is, she has a lot more haters than anybody else that I know of. I mean, Jake and me, we have our fair share of folks who can't stand us, still watch us, but can't stand us. But Jamie, and I think maybe Bree. Does Bree have some haters too? Not really.
Not really anymore.
Jamie has.
She had to think that
haters.
Bree has no like opposite antagonist. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Antagonist might not be the right word, but like, some people love me and don't like Lester, but there's a lot of people who love Lester who hate my
That's
existence.
True. I don't know why it has to be that way. I don't know why it has to be that way. So, but I just think it's kind of a woman catty thing. I really do. I think it's a woman catty thing. And then I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to offend a lot of people, but I kind of think that you might also admit that it's true, is that sometimes I think a lot of women have a natural jealousy of other women. And I've joked about it before. I've just joked about it. And, but I think it's also very true. And I say that from things that I've seen. And I say it, from things that I've, with teaching schools and working amongst so many female teachers. Wow. I've seen a lot of women that will say one thing to your face and say something else behind your back. Oh my God. And listen, I'm going to say one last thing in defense of men. Men don't normally do that. It's very rare, at least from my experiences, from a man to be two-faced. A man, if he doesn't like you, he's going to let you know he don't like you in some form or fashion. And you may have to work with that man. You may have to interact with that man. But if you don't like some dude, he's going to let you know, or you'll let him know that, you know what, we ain't cool. But I feel like a lot of women sometimes will not let each other know. They will low key it. And, I love your dress. But what they say as soon as you turn your back is a little bit not very flattering,
I've only had a few, I'll call it men haters, and they are the ones who, for whatever reason, when Lester pulls out I guess we'll do what Jamie wants to do today, or Jamie made me come here, or Jamie did this, or anything like that, they're like, Lester never gets anything. Lester never gets his way. Anything Jamie wants, she gets. Like, that's the type of man hate I get. I don't get I'm going to show up and light your dumpster on fire because, I don't know, I hate the sound of your voice type of thing. So it's kind of crazy.
Crazy's on Rick's Live today talking about you too, baby. I'm so sorry. Yeah, well, you have to understand, though, that when it comes to Mr. Rick, now we both admire Rick, but Rick does not do what we do. And what I can say and what I will say about the folks who watch Rick's channel is they go to Rick for advice, but you don't go to Rick to see Rick actually put himself out there. You're not going to see Rick actually put himself out there. He can tell you all day what to do with Roman, but you're not going to see Mr. Rick out there with Roman, right? Never. And so always remember that for the folks who go to Rick's channel to talk mess about me and Jamie, even for the lady who I really love, who told Rick that I need help with Romans. Rick is all about critiquing and finding things to pick you apart about. Good, the bad. He'll sometimes compliment you as well, but Rick does not put himself in the battle. Rick likes to tell you how to fight and what you should fight and when to fight. Well, go ahead and say it. But Rick does not join the fight. We are the warriors. We're the ones who get out there every day and put ourselves in harm's way. We're the ones who have to risk getting teeth kicked in, and Rick can come on you until you whine she got her teeth kicked in. That's the big difference. No, I'm just going to address this real fast. That's the difference for all of the folks who are watching right now, who is sitting here, who's going to watch us and then go back and talk about us to Rick, is that Jamie's the one going in there getting her teeth kicked in, and Rick's the guy behind the computer telling her all that she did wrong. Now, we've learned a lot from Rick. I like Rick.
I was going to say, like, I've learned a lot from Rick, and but I was going to say, though, it's no different than anybody else that says all the things we do wrong. It's just that Rick has a channel.
He has a channel.
That's it.
But
and there's so many people who tell us all the things that we do wrong, who have no experience whatsoever. And I do it the same way that I take those comments and things like that is anything that's, Rick's channel is a community about discussion. It's not a content. The content isn't created. The content is brought forth to invite discussion. So it's a very dynamically different whole thing. I respect Rick. I respect his viewpoint on horses. I've learned a lot from Rick, and I don't know why I get to be a focal point of Rick's, other than we share audiences who bring something to the table there to be able to be a discussion point, good or bad, just to be able to be a part of the discussion. But at the same time, like, I take it like the comments is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, we're the ones who are here every day with the Ritas and with the Gemmas and with the Romans. Oh no, there it goes again.
It was this. So all that changed right here. It wasn't anything to do with this.
Oh, you sure?
Yep. This
Okay.
right here is all the background.
But you saw that though, right?
Yes.
So we're the ones that I think that is called the arena. We're the ones in the arena.
Yeah.
And we're the ones who, and in the arena, there's benefits to being in the arena, is that we get the spectators. We get to perform for the good and the bad and the ugly, but we are in the arena. We're not just outside of the arena critiquing what's happening inside the arena. So I invite a lot of folks to get involved with rescuing, and you might learn real fast that it's not as easy, especially when you have animals who come to you who've dealt with some abuse and some neglect. So,
well, and I guess like that's where I start to
I got defensive. I did. Well, if someone's talking about Jamie, that really bothers me, because I don't mind them talking about me. Talk about me all you want to. I'm okay with it, but we are boots on the ground, and so it bothers me.
We're in the
trenches. I just hope that. All right. I'm sorry. I just got upset that someone's talking about Jamie. I did not know that. I did not see that either. We were driving. We were on vacation during Rick's live, y'all.
I don't take it personally. Being a discussion point is part of life. It's part of life. Whether it happens now on social media or it happened on the playground as kids or whatever the case is, like if somebody's paying attention to you, it's you're somebody that they're watching, and that has meant so many different things in my life. And I just take it as like, it's not going to change the way that my day happens. It's not going to change the way that I still have to go out, refill waters. We still have to feed. We still have to be able to earn money to afford the feed. We still have to be able to clean up the stalls. And I look at things of like, whether I'm the janitor today or I'm the CEO today, I'm still going to go out and do it with everything I have and handle everything that comes my way, no matter whose channel I'm on and who's dogging me about how I scoop the shit or whatever. At least I ain't wearing white Nikes anymore.
You're learning, Jamie. You're learning. She is learning, y'all. She's getting better. Hey, and I'm wearing my white shoes today, believe it or not.
And I'm going to do it in pearls no matter who rips on me for doing that. And I'm going to do it in my dress and my boots. And I'm going to show up. And I'm going to show up for these animals because that's the commitment that I've made, that we've made. And that's what we do every single day. And we allow people into our lives by showcasing the things that we do, and we share our moments where we're in good moods, where we're in bad moods, where we're in, we're still real people. We have arguments, we have disagreements, we have moments where we are in just tears of distress, and we keep going.
Whew. Thank God you didn't mention our sex life. Oh, I thought she was about to go there. I started getting nervous. I don't know if y'all saw me tense up or not. Oh, Lord.
I 100%
thank you for stopping whenever you
was
did.
not going there. It's life though, and it's not always pretty. But we're here and we're living it and we're sharing it. Clearly we can laugh about it. Apparently that part of the story is really funny. So just saying.
I have made myself giggle. That means I'm getting tired. I'm delirious because I can usually hold it together better than most people can. I can hold it together. But hey, we've been over an hour anyways. But listen, we want to thank you guys for jumping on and watching the live tonight. Thank you for supporting us as we got a chance to escape from the heat of the farm. We went to the heat of the beach. Took our girls for a little visit. Yeah, it was so fun. I will say real fast that my son is back on American soil. I will also say God bless the US of A. God bless the US of A. I'm going to say it 3 times. God bless the USA. And we will catch you guys throughout the week. Like I said, we got a lot of big things coming up this week, and we hope to we'll catch you outside. How about that, Jamie? Anything you want to add?
Thank you.
Outside, how about that?
Down in Texas where the sun runs high, there's a place where hearts and spirits fly. I'm a survivor stands for all who've been through. A second chance, a promise, pure and true. They take the broken, the battered, the lost, love without measure, no counting the cost. Every hoof and paw gets the life it deserves, a pasture of hope where kindness curves.
Help us leave
We're
the
all
building. Help us
survivors of
leave the
something
building.
you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. Stretching fences and wide open skies, where love's the language that never lies. Each soul that walks through those gates of grace finds a home, a heart, a safe new space. We're all survivors of something you see, bound by the winds of destiny. Together we heal, together we thrive, and I'm a survivor. We're keeping dreams alive. The rooster crows at the break of dawn. Life rolls on, the pain is gone. Each animal here gets its own sweet song. A family where all the broken belong. of some